We're going to stand at ease for just about 5 minutes. We have another member coming, and we have a quorum, and we get started. So there'll be a sign-up sheet if anybody wants to speak to a measure that's on the agenda this morning. Sign up front. Good morning. We have a quorum. We will get started. We have 3 bills on the agenda today, but we will start with a word of prayer. I'm going to ask Representative Mathis if he'll lead us in prayer this morning.
Pray. Father, we thank you for today. We thank you for the rain outside. We just thank you for the many blessings. We just ask that you be with us in the decisions that we make here, that it will serve the people of Georgia. Thank you for your son, Jesus. Amen.
Well, again, thank you, everybody, for getting up early this morning and driving through the rain to be with us. Thank Whip Burchett to come in to help us out this morning, where we can go ahead and get some measures off our plate this morning. Like I said, we've got a sign-up sheet up front. Anybody that would like to speak to a measure. We do have 3 bills on the agenda here today. The first one is House Bill 804, Representative Seaball. And I would like to, he's at the podium or at the table. I'd ask if he will come and present his bill and explain to us what it does and why we need it.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and the distinguished members of this committee. Thank you for having me this morning and allowing me to present House Bill 804. I'm working off LC 394094S. That's correct.
Does everybody have that sub in their packet? Okay.
This bill is at the request of the 1,600 members of the Georgia Association of EMS, members who take great pride in their profession as emergency medical technicians and paramedics. Currently, the license plate issued to the owners of ambulance services have the words hearse/ambulance on the plate. A single plate issued for a hearse and for an ambulance. In the present day, a hearse on the road is usually headed for a cemetery. But historically, that wasn't always the case. Before the 1970s, hearses were often used to transport people in cases of medical emergency. They served as the city's ambulance, but that is no longer the case. And as you can imagine, when family members see the word hearse on the ambulance sitting in their driveway, it gives them great concern. What House Bill 804 does is require the MV to issue two distinct plates, one for the ambulance owner with the word ambulance and one for the hearse owner with the word hearse. There is no specific design standards other than what is currently being issued, and the cost of the department should be covered by the $20 fee. Thank you for allowing me to present this morning, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
When the proper time, we'll recognize that. I asked, we have a hearse driver here, if he would like to comment.
Yeah. I think it's a good rule, change that, because I was one of those folks that run up and down the road with those combinations back in the day when we had it. Sometimes, this is just a joke now. Sometimes we didn't know whether to slow up or speed up, so it's just going how that went. I'm just kidding. I just thought I'd throw a little Alan Powell humor out there. But you know, that was the only thing, because we were the only folks that had a car that could put a stretcher in it. We ran it up till 81, where I'm from. So it was one of these things. But I think this is a good thing to distinguish between the two. Thank you.
Thank you for the little levity there, so that's great. We also have the Austin Gibbons with DOR, if he would like to comment on this, or just this.
Yes, I think we're good with the sub. What's the effective date on it?
There's no date on the sub. I think it'd just be at normal July 1 would be when that would take effect, if there's no date on the bill, if that's my understanding.
If the committee's amenable, because I know we have to do drives programming and things like that, we typically like to do January 1 for these types of license plate bills, but if the will of the committee is July 1, we'll find a way to make it work.
Let me ask the author, would you be agreeable to putting an effective date of January 1, 2025? Would that be?
If that helps the department, we certainly have no problem with that amendment.
And then we would need somebody to offer that amendment after we have a motion on the bill. If that's agreeable to everyone, and we'll go from there. Austin, thank you. All right, now would be the proper time. Okay, we have a motion to pass the bill as amended. Are we good with that, my ledge council? Ledge council is good, so we have a motion on the bill, but we got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. The bill carries. Thank you. All right, next on the agenda, we have House Bill 878, who is Chairman Lumsden. This is a bill we passed out last year, so I didn't feel necessary that we needed to go through a sub and go through that. We've actually passed this bill, so he's got it back. I think this, when it got to the Senate, it got amended and added to another bill, or another bill got added to his. And anyway, it didn't make it cross the finish line, so. So yeah, you know how that happens. But anyway, if you present your bill.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. I bring to you House Bill 878. As the chairman stated, this was a bill that we passed out of this committee, out of the House last year, went over to the Senate and was combined with another bill, which was fine, we thought, but when got to the governor's office, they had a problem with the portion that this bill had been attached to, so it got vetoed. So we're coming back with it again. Hopefully, it will be clean. But this deals with the proper action for a motorist to take as it approaches a postal service vehicle in the process of delivering mail. This code section already existed as it related to sanitation vehicles, so all we have done here is to put the postal service vehicle, include the postal service vehicle along with the same language that was present for the sanitation vehicle. Simply requires a motorist as he's approaching a postal service vehicle with flashing lights to slow down, pass on the left, the adjacent lane if it's safe to do so, be prepared to stop if it is not safe to do so, and wait until such time as it is. So that's the crux of the bill. Had several accidents in my district and had a request from our postal service as well as our sheriff's department to do something as far as codes. So this is what we have here. I appreciate your support of the bill and ask for your favorable consideration.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. We do have a question, number 18, Representative Montahan.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for bringing the bill. I do have some questions for you. On line number 9 there, it says, relating to procedure for passing vehicles with active sanitation workers. Do you think that we should add postal service vehicles here?
We went to Legislative Council, and this is the recommendation as far as language is concerned.
Okay, don't change the guess right there. Okay. I had another question. That was, when you were working on this bill, we had a bill in this committee last year that kind of dealt with some of these folks that were passing all these types of parcel vehicles. So this only deals with passing a United States mail truck. This
Right.
is not a Amazon truck. This is not a, UPS, all these folks that are now parking in the roads and causing congestion at 5 p.m.
Right. This only applies to U.S. Postal Service vehicles in the act of delivering
Okay,
mail.
but thank you.
And I would like to add, the Postal Service is delivering a lot of those packages today. I end up in my mailbox every day. I don't know, I must be one of their favorite delivery locations, so, but anyway, we're,
I think I said, is a cause in this committee room, Mr. Chairman? Is a cause for all those packages in this committee room?
yeah. Anyway, all right, I see no further questions. Do we have a, all right, we have a motion. Do we have a second? We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. All opposed, like sign. You have your bill. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee.
All right. All right, we have one other bill on the agenda today, and it's House Bill 907. Representative Franklin, if you'll come to the table and present your bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate this opportunity to present this. This is House Bill 907, LC number 394057. And this came about basically by some local law enforcement and my sheriff with a growing concern that it was becoming a public safety issue. Currently, from my understanding, is the law on the books for a funeral procession is that you cannot pass them, but if they have oncoming traffic, it's not required to pull over on the side of the road, and this bill would require people with oncoming traffic to pull over on the side of the road on a 2-lane street. And that's all the bill does, sir.
We do have a question, Representative Montahan.
Well, thank you again, Mr. Chairman. This is my sweet mate here, so I've got several questions for him already, and I'm sure he is,
No, sir.
well, we're going to try to make it as close
We'll
to
make it
it.
like that, no.
So I do have a question. I see the way that you want to add where people have to yield this right of way to, this is traffic that is also traveling in the same lanes that they are traveling in. Is that correct?
That's correct. This is for 2-lane roads only, and it's for oncoming traffic.
So can you tell me in what other ways a car would have to give the right of way in the state of Georgia for a funeral procession?
Well, that would be it. They can't pass them, and I guess if you go to an intersection, they'd have the right of way to cross the intersection as well.
If you have a divided highway with a median in the middle, do those folks have to?
No, they do not.
I think, and what I'm trying to get to, Mr. Chairman, is I hear from folks, we do a lot of driver's education for young people and adults, and that is one of the things that has missed the absolute most in our classes is the rules on this. And so there probably needs to be an educational component, because this has been changed a few times where folks used to have to pull over to the right side. So that's maybe something that you want to do out of your esteemed office, is do a little maybe FYI for the state. I think it would be helpful for a TikTok video. Stephen Rep. Sains could help you make one of those. But good bill. I think this is needed to show respect to those that have passed, and I appreciate you doing it.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you. We do have another question, but I just like to say, part of the world I live in, I guess, it's just common courtesy. We do that, but apparently it's not happening everywhere. It's just respect for the family when you do this. So, but I'm gonna go out and our whip number 19.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I was going to say the same thing that you just said. We do this just out of tradition in South Georgia. I did see that you changed the penalty. Any insight as to why the penalty was changed?
Yes, sir, that was recommended. I went to a couple of attorneys, and they just said that the $100 fine was limiting, and what this does was it just leaves it up to the discretion of the officer that pulls them over, basically, to put that fine in there, or the judge.
So it moves it to a misdemeanor, and I guess whatever the judge, at the judge's discretion, it could be $1,000.
That's right.
All right, very good. Thank you.
Number 24, Representative Ridley.
Well, you had me up until then. So we're just gonna leave it up to, like you said, to a judge just to determine what that penalty could be, and it could be anything. Is that, we're just leaving it open-ended?
No, it's limited to whatever the fees are for a misdemeanor, which I don't know off the top of my head what they are.
What would, does anybody know? I think we need to, I think that's a little excessive there. I don't know about limit. I think maybe we should put some language in there that says no more than $250 or something, or maybe
Or just unstrike the language is there.
unstrike language is there. Listen, if you get pulled over without a seatbelt, it's $15, $20 fine, you know. But yeah, I think you may want to unstrike that. I don't know what attorney, was that Ledge Council attorney, or was this a county attorney?
No, that was a Representative Tyler Paul.
My friend, Tyler
Yes,
Paul.
sir.
I hate to go
And I
against,
don't-
but I think we need to put a cap on there, just keep, listen, we got enough problems with school zone cameras that's finding people. I don't think we need to leave this open-ended.
And I don't have a problem with that. I think the main thing here is that I was under the deception that it's just people just did it everywhere. I grew up doing that. And,
Same here, same.
yeah,
I agree with
so
you 100%.
Most people think it's a law anyway.
That's
so,
correct.
yeah. So I have no issue with that if that's what this council determines.
All right, number 18, Representative Montagne.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. With all this, I just wanted to make just posit something for the committee, and that is with all this Biden inflation that we have in this country, we're almost have to put elevators on all this stuff. It's $1 today could be, $5 tomorrow. It's sad that we have to think that way, though, isn't it?
All right, I think the posture we're in, I think if the author's agreeable to, well, you've got another question, number 16.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I had no idea about inflation, but I do think it's a little excessive. So that's where I am. And I guess when I grew up, it was a loaf of bread I could buy for 5 cents, and today that same loaf is $4. So I don't know if it's economics or if it's inflation, but I just want us to know that whatever we do, we don't need to make it excessive to the people. Because just open ended to a judge.
Thank you. Number 24, Representative Ridley.
Mr. Chairman, at the proper time, I'd like to make a suggestion that we unstrike the language there on line 41 and 42. And leave that as where it does not exceed $100.
We have a motion to amend the bill and a second. Now, I think, Posher, we need a motion on the bill. All right, we got to do pass. Do we have a second? All right, we got a motion to pass on the bill. Now we will vote on the amendment to the bill. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. All right, the amendment passed. Now we will vote on the bill as amended. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. All right, the bill passed as amended.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All right, that is our last bill on the agenda today, but I would like to introduce our policy analyst we have with us today, Anna Smith. Would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself, Anna?
Hi, I'm Anna Smith. Formerly, I was in the Office of Legislative Counsel as an administrative assistant, so I know I've had the pleasure of meeting and working with a lot of you. I just started in this role back in October, and I'm very excited to work with the fellow committee members and all of you.
Point of personal privilege, Mr. Chairman.
I recognize the whip.
All right, well, I just want to let you know, Mr. Chairman, I came because Miss Anna has roots in Waycross, Georgia, so I'm here to support her in her first day in the committee room, so.
And who's your favorite UGA quarterback of all time?
I'm supposed to say it's Stetson Bennett. It is. It is.
She is from Black Cheer, so South Georgia roots. So glad to have her. So, all right. Anything else for the good of the committee? If nothing else, the meeting is adjourned. And thank y'all for coming.